Welcome to the Concordia College Football Show with Coach Terry Horan. I'm your host, Norman Bell. Terry, what a way to bounce back from a tough loss at Wisconsin Whitewater by going out and putting 54 points up on the board against Augsburg.
Absolutely. You know, we're proud of our kids. We talked all week about getting off to a fast start, something that we haven't done our first 2 weeks, especially offensively. So to get that first drive and have some success with it, and then our Ds come out and we get a turnover. We're on a short field. A few plays later, we're in the end zone with Dane Ringquist, and we're up 14-0. And before they knew what was going on, it was 21-0. And so that was a fast start. It's exactly what we wanted. And we weren't stellar either. I mean, there are a lot of things that we still can work on in this 54-7 victory, and we will, as we get into this week against Hamline. But it was the start that we wanted. And our guys just didn't let up on the gas, and everybody got a chance to play, and that always is a good thing.
To essentially dominate all three phases of the game, offense, defense, and special teams, that's got to be satisfying.
Oh, it is. Really is, because looking at last week, there were some areas that we really harped on and focused on this week, and you bet, it was a three-phased victory, and I was proud of our special teams. I mean, we were +8 in creating something. We had 2 block punts, 1 set up a score. Our punt team, one of our bullets, recovers a fumble, which sets up a score. We had 3 tackles inside the 20-yard line with our KO coverage. Really proud of our special team units. It was great to see. Defensively, too, hardly giving up any yards. We had two fumble recoveries. As a team on the year, we're +5 in turnovers. And that's how you always want to see that. You want to see the pluses. And offensively, I mean, we rushed for, 430-some yards and had, 475 total yards of offense, and we played everybody. So it was a great day at the office and an earlier start. And I mean, our game was done at 12:40, Norm, and we were home by 5, so it wasn't bad.
Let's go ahead and take a look at those first half highlights. Terry, it was a hot one out there.
Yeah, it was. We started at 10, and we've played in warmer weather, but the heat index was, in the high 70s, and 86.1 is where they shut everything down. So we didn't quite get there, but it was warm. In fact, my dad, who was wearing all black for whatever reason, thought we only played 3 quarters. I think he was heat exhausted. So here's Riley Sheridan coming around the edge. We got things going offensively right out of the gates. It was good to see. We got the pitch out to Riley. He got out and had pretty decent perimeter blocking. Just methodically went down the field. Another pitch out to Riley, and he scoops up the sideline, and great block there. And we're in the end zone. We're up 7-0. So guys giving him a little love. It's always great to see. It's 11 guys doing a job that when you're successful at the end, everybody should be meeting them there. Here's our kickoff, and we did a great job all day long, coming down and covering the kick. Again, we were inside the 20-yard line 3 times making tackles. They fair caught a few. Here's Nick Heaney. He's their go-to guy. We end up stripping the ball from him, got a short field, and we're in the end zone here shortly thereafter. Dane was a workhorse all day. Just keep those legs turning. I love it. He's physical, big, tough back, and the guy, he got to stay in the game on that as the guy ripped his helmet off. But there he is getting into the end zone for his first score on the day, and there he's getting some love. Love to see that. TK had a great day kicking. We only had 1 missed, hit the upright, but we were pretty much flawless there too. Chris Clausen kicking it deep. They fair caught it. That new rule's come into play a few times this year for us and our opponents. Yeah. Defense, again, just putting great pressure on the QB, and there's Willie Julks coming off the edge, and I think that was Noah Welsh too, wasn't it? Here's a block, close block. I know Noah Schmitz, he gets a block later in the game. Here's Blake back to pass. He's going to hit Matt By on a nice little slant route. And Matt's first touchdown of his collegiate career, so the former QB moving out to wideout. It was great to see.
That's 21-0 right there.
21-0, and we needed that fast start. I did not want this game to, if we got to that 86.1, I was always nervous that, you get to the end of the third quarter, they could call the game if it was, if it was that hot. And I just didn't want to leave any doubt in this game at all. Here's a ball. He felt he caught it. They said it hit the ground. That was a 3rd down play. So then we're out punting, and Chris Clausen was doing the punting for us this week, and kind of shanked that one off to the right, but it was pretty decent punt coverage day. Here's more pressure. There's Welshie again. I believe he had 2.5 sacks on the day. I think he led us in team tackles too, like 7. That's great. Great day for him. And they're dangerous. You know, this QB started against us 2 years ago, and there's Anthony Hale coming off the edge spot too. And they quick kicked us a bunch of times, which, you know, we play our D and we let it roll. And on all our punt returns, we did reach our goal. Well, here's Dane on, I think it was 78, wasn't it? Or was it 72? But look at him high step there at the end and getting in the end zone. And I think that was our 2nd play from scrimmage from that series. Here we go with TK, and pops it through. Made it 28-0, and we're in the 2nd quarter with 10:28 left. Clausen kicking it deep. He kind of redirected himself there. He juked us a little bit, got about an extra 10 yards. I think that was the biggest one we gave up all day, but Willie Julks was there to help us out, coming from the backside.
They did that a few times, but they went away from it after a while.
Yeah, just as the game kind of wore on, you know, they played a lot of people too, and again, it was warm, and you know, both teams got a chance to play a lot of guys. Yeah. Here's another pitch out to Riley, and he's getting some pretty good perimeter blocking, and you know, he can run, he can scoot, and he's a physical back too. Here's a nice little hitch route to Kevin Marzoff, and Kevin gets about 18 yards off of it. Another great read by Blake, and he gets it out to Mike Heitzman. Some great perimeter blocking there, and Zach Wolf had a great day out on the edge for us in his perimeter blocking. Awesome. Here's where we hit the uprights, and we were 2 for 2 on field goals, and we were, I believe, 7 for 8 on PATs. There was the block punt by, I think it was Stanger. Yeah, it was Stanger on that one, and Willie Julks had a scoop and score, and so he got the business there. He could have scored.
Come right back there and fumble, but they eventually had to punt it away.
Funny on that last one, Gavin Stanger told us at the beginning, you put me on punt block, I'm going to block a punt. So we were happy to see that for that sophomore out of Paynesville, Minnesota. There's Seahawk getting off to the edge on a little toss game, and TK popping it through the uprights again. We're up 41-0 at halftime, and obviously feeling really good about the way we came out of the gates. Is exactly what we wanted to see, and I was proud of our young men. And you know, watching film, you're never as good as you think you are, and you're never as bad as you think you are. And you know, when we watched film and you look, there's a lot of things that we can get better at, things that we can coach up, and film doesn't lie. I mean, we still need to be more physical up front, and we're playing a little high at times, but it certainly was a great start, and it felt good by all of us to be up that much at halftime.
So with a 41-0 lead at halftime, what do you say in the locker room to keep the guys motivated?
Well, you know, you don't ever let your guard down, first of all, and you know, we don't have to say a whole lot. I think our kids understand that. You know, we just got in with our groups, our O's met and our D's met, and we just decided to just keep plugging away. We want to get everybody into the game, and you know, that first set of series, we usually always go with our starters, and we actually did, and we went down and scored right out of the gates, and then we started playing our 2s and our 3s. But you never want to let your guard down. You want to play a full 30 more minutes of football, and our guys did that.
Okay. When we return, we'll take a look at those second half highlights. Welcome back. Terry, you take it to the locker room, 41-0 at the half. Team comes out, gets going again right away.
Absolutely, and we didn't want to stop. And our number ones were going to get that first lick, and they did a great job of moving the ball down the field and putting up another 7 points to put us up 48-0. And I was proud of our kids. That was great to see, and now it's time to get others involved.
Okay. Let's go down and roll those second half highlights. Now they received the ball coming out of the half.
Another good kick by Klaas, and they decided to return it and kind of switched the field on us, but our guys, they corralled them up pretty good.
Defense at it again?
Just pressure. There's Gunnar Coleman in there and a slew of others. I mean, it was just a ton of pressure all day, and we were close to getting punts. Here's a nice return by Wolf, and they called a holding penalty on Mason Griefey, which, you know, I was not a fan of the call, but it was a great return. Pushes us back a little bit, but and there's a block in the back, I believe, by Jordan Spaeth that pushed the ball back again, but we just kept to the, you know, our nose to the grindstone and came back with a little counter play, and there goes Riley Sheridan down the sideline again. This is a great opening drive of the second half. Another little toss sweep to Sheridan, and gets into the end zone. Good perimeter blocking. TK popping it through. There you go, 48-0. 11:09 left in the third. Chris Clausen kicking off again, and our Gonzo's had plenty of work, that's for sure. Redirected himself again, and pretty good coverage by our guys. Brought in their backups now, and the backup QB is in, and get them to punt. Here's Will Burning getting a few extra yards, and you know, little things, you know, just staying with blocks. We can get a little bit better at this, and you know, those are things that we're going to be coaching this week. Is, you know, we're not where we want to be yet, and here's, you know, you get your 2s and your 3s in now. We had a little miscommunication, plus we had a 7-step drop by our QB, which we don't have. So little things that we just got to get a little bit better at, and here's some pretty good pressure, and he's running pretty hard too, and it's good to just see guys that work so hard all week to get in and get some work in. It was a great catch, great play. That's a Heaney boy, and he's their top receiver, and probably one of the better receivers in the league. Here's Z Wolf again, and we just stay with our blocks just a little bit longer. I mean, it's just effort things, and there's little things there that can really, you know, turn a 20-yard gain into a 50-yard gain pretty fast. Here's Mason Griefey just hustling down as our bullet. We put him out there this week, and he comes up with a big play. We get 3 points off of it, so not only does he recover the fumble, but he set up a score, which is why we were +8 in that category within our special teams. Another kickoff that goes into the end zone. Nolan Schmitz gets the block. We talked about that earlier, and that's our second block, and we end up scoring off of that too. So he gets a block plus sets up a score. So there's 2 points right there off of that. He's just suffocating again. Simon Weller is now in at quarterback. Gives a little pitch out to Peyton Morrison, one of our freshmen from Lac-Qui-Parle Valley. And there you go. That's the gun. And Cobbers are 1-0 in league play, which is always good. It's not easy to play in the cage, and this never gets old, as we know, Norm. We got back at 5 o'clock. We're singing the school song. Guys got back in time to go to dining service, for Pete's sake. So that never really happens. But it's always good to sing the songs. Always good to stand on the sea, and our kids, we take a lot of pride in this. So it was a fun day for all of us.
Great. When we return, we'll talk to offensive coordinator Aaron Willits. Welcome back. I'm now joined by co-offensive coordinator Aaron Willits. Aaron, thanks for joining me, man.
Thanks for having me, Norm.
Aaron, you guys came out and started fast this past Saturday against Augsburg. You racked up 473 yards of total offense, 433 on the ground. Did you expect that type of offensive performance last week?
I was hoping for some sort of a start like that. I wasn't overly impressed with how we played up front and how we played as a team against Wisconsin Whitewater, and I was expecting a fast start. We were down for a business trip, and we needed to grow up a little bit and come out with a fast start. I didn't expect it to be 400 and some, offensive yards, but we had some guys make some plays and break some tackles and take some things, a little bit longer than maybe they probably should have. But that's what happens when you put guys in scenarios and make some plays.
Yeah. Now, you're dealing with essentially a new backfield other than Blake Cragness and Dane Ringquist, but kids like Logan Hatfield, Matt Bird, Riley Sheridan, Michael Heitzman, who got some playing time last year. Tell me how they're progressing and taking up some of the role that Jason Montoni and Chad Johnson left behind.
You know, it's part of recruiting. You know, guys leave, and guys are expected to fill those roles. You know, does it look the exact same? No, it's not going to. You lose two experienced seniors like that, guys that played for 4 years. You know, in my mind, never was going to be a doubt about missing a beat. We were going to come back and we were going to do the things we needed to do, and those kids were going to step in. And I got asked that question a lot, you know, over the years. You know, where are those yards going to come from? Well, they're going to come from the guy that's the next guy up. And you know, fortunate enough to talk Dane into coming back and using that extra year of eligibility, and he's, you know, sort of the catalyst. And I think, you know, over the first 2 weeks, a couple teams took away the fullback, and we found a way to get him going. And he showed his skill set, and we're gonna, you know, pound the rock like we normally do. And obviously Riley's a good complement to that on the outside. We got some experience with Mike Heitzman, you know, and the rest of the young guys, they're growing up. And there's some things, and Coach Horan, you know, addressed it earlier. We still got some growing up to do, but we're going to continue to work. And we're going to coach the crap out of them, make sure that we're better, you know, next week and moving forward.
All right, and Dane Ringquist was going to be my next question. What was it? You know, how much of a blessing was it for him to decide to come back for his extra year of eligibility?
Yeah, you know, blessing. You know, in that sense, I'll use that loosely, because if Dane hadn't come back, we would have filled it with somebody else. Right. No offense, I know he's sitting over here, he's gonna be on your next, but you know, but I'm happy for Dane because he's got a passion and a desire to play the game of football, and I knew in conversations with him early after the year that he wasn't done. You know, he wanted to play, and he's got that fire in his belly, and I saw it on Saturday in a conversation that he and I had. And 100%, I wanted to give him those opportunities, and he's making the most of them. You know, and he's leading us. Not only did he come back just to be a football player, but you know, our guys. Sometimes as a fifth-year guy, you're the odd guy out a little bit. You're a little bit older, but he blended with our guys. He's a team captain for us. You know, fits in well, and really is, you know, the epitome of what we want our football players to be: tough, hard-nosed kids that do their job, and I absolutely love him for that.
And now the double slot offense, it's unique to the MIAC because only Concordia runs it. Mm-hmm. You have to be disciplined defensively to have success against that type of offense. What's it like? Give me a perspective of a defensive coach trying to stop the double slot. How much of a headache it can be?
Well, I think I mean, there's three options in one play, you know, but then on top of it, there's multiple blocking schemes. And on top of being disciplined in the defensive side of things, you know, we have to be on the offensive side because it's kind of a man blocking scheme in a sense that we have to have everybody accounted for it to really go for us. But if we can get into a scenario where we're taking guys and making them reads, and, you know, and they lose a little bit of discipline, yeah, you're going to see the fullback go for, you know, 45 or 50. You're going to see Blake pull it down for 10, 12, 15. And if we can get to the edge, that's usually where you see some of those big plays, especially with Riley here, you know, so far this year where it's 15, 20, 30 yards, you know, around the edge because maybe we're adjusting our scheme a little bit to put somebody who's not anticipating being a pitch read or a read for that matter in a scenario where they got to try and play somebody, you know, straight up and they got two guys coming at them. Who are you going to tackle?
Yeah. Now, on a personal note, congratulations, you're expecting your second baby.
Yeah. It's been an interesting summer. My wife is expecting our second child. So by the time January rolls around, I'll have two under the age of 2. But, you know, I like challenges, and, you know, that'll just be another one at home come January.
Now, with 2 babies under the age of 2, when you're going to find time to do your CrossFit, man?
I don't know. Working out, you know, right now has kind of been a challenge, and I'm losing weight, believe it or not, by not working out. Maybe that's some mass or whatever, but you know, I'll find some time. Just try to go all, you know, as long as I possibly can, and usually I'm up early in the mornings to get some working out in. But fortunately, my wife works at a CrossFit gym, so I got some ties to be able to maybe sneak them in when it fits better into my schedule because of the keys.
All right. Well, congratulations on an awesome performance, and good luck this week against Hamline. Thanks for joining me, Aaron.
Thank you, sir.
All right. That's co-offensive coordinator Aaron Willits. Welcome back to the show. I'm now joined by senior fullback Dane Ringquist. Dane, I can't believe this is the first time I'm having you on the show, man.
Yeah, it's about time you call me out there.
Hey, you get on TH about that. Hey, man, I'm so happy that you decided to come back and utilize your last year of eligibility, man. Like, the guys really respect you, and you bring so much to the locker room. That was awesome for you to do.
Yeah, I mean, it was a kind of a big decision to make, but I mean, knowing that I had that extra year, I wanted to use it because I, love football, love this program, love these guys, and wanted to come back to win this year. So that's what factored into my decision.
Now, Fergus Falls. You and Riley Sheridan went to the same high school.
Yeah, home of the Otters, same as TH's wife.
Okay.
Yeah, from Fergus. So.
Yeah, so they say you guys have like this male kinship, like you guys are two peas in a pod, like there's Dane, there's Riley. Is that just because of like the Fergus Falls connection? Is something in the water there?
Maybe a little bit. Maybe there is something in the water, but me and Riley's bromance, I guess you could say, really took off this summer and last winter and spring when we work out together and train together and both play running back. So we get along well, and we are around each other quite a bit.
All right. So you're a biology major.
Yep.
What do you want to do with that?
My plans with that are to attend physical therapy school after Concordia. So I'm kind of in that application process right now, applying to different schools, and hopefully get in somewhere and go from there.
Okay. What's it like being a captain for this team?
Being a captain, it's, I guess, no different feeling than it has been in the past for me. I mean, there's a lot of different ways you can lead and a lot of different ways guys do lead. Me, I just try to always be myself and lead by example and be vocal for the guys and be someone that they can trust, both on and off the field.
Okay. So, David Beckham? Like, has someone told you that, or you really believe that?
I don't know. I think in the last year or so, David Beckham's maybe had to take a back seat to me. But no, I don't quite have the tattoos that he does. But no, that was just a joke answer.
No, I know. So you wrestled at Concordia also, right?
Yeah. My freshman and sophomore year here, I wrestled. Freshman year, I did both football and wrestling, and sophomore year, I just wrestled, so that's where that extra year of eligibility comes. And that was a really great experience for me, too, because I like wrestling, but taking a year off from football kind of made me realize that that's where I wanted to be.
Yeah. So how was it juggling both those sports your freshman year? Because you go from one right into the other.
Yeah, it was busy. There's a little bit of an overlap there, and then on top of school, too, trying to be successful there. But so it was really busy. It was a lot to handle. So one is a little bit more manageable.
Okay. This past Saturday, you had a very explosive outing, 7 carries for 128 yards and a long of 72. But the most impressive part was you're anticipating the guy diving and high stepping, and he was behind you. But did you see it coming?
Yeah, I saw that. I saw him coming out of the corner of my eyes. I knew he was coming and that he would probably try to dive. It's funny because I got to the sideline and had guys, slapping me on the shoulder and a couple guys saying, "Oh, you high stepped in." I was like, I had to. Yeah. I had to high step because he was at my ankles. But yeah, I kind of anticipated him coming in, so put that last little move on and ended up getting in.
Yeah. So why Concordia?
Both of my older brothers. I've got 2 older brothers. They both came to Concordia. And, so I had a familiarity with it. And then getting on campus, visiting, talking to both the football coaches and wrestling coaches, I really realized that it is somewhere that I want to be and somewhere that I could have a really good college experience and be able to do sports and have an opportunity to be at a good school too.
Okay. Well, Dane, I appreciate you coming on, man. It's a pleasure watching you run. You run hard. You're undetermined, and that's a good thing.
Hey, thanks, Norm. I appreciate you, man.
All right. That's senior fullback Dane Ringquist. Welcome back to the Concordia College Football Show with Coach Terry Horan. Terry, you finally get another home game after 2 weeks on the road here.
It's going to be sweet, nice, get back to the video board, get back to our home crowd, and I know our kids are looking forward to it.
Yeah, you have a hungry Hamline team who hadn't had a lot of success yet this year, but you know they're going to come ready to play regardless.
Yeah, absolutely. They're going to come ready to play. Chip Taylor, their head football coach, I have a lot of respect for him and what him and his staff do. Justice Spriggs is a veteran quarterback. He slings it all over the place. You know, defensively, they have 8 starters back from our game from last year. And in the first half, I think it was only 17-0 last year at Hamline in the first half. So, you know, they're going to work hard. They're going to play hard. But, you know, we're not world beaters right now. We got a lot of things that we need to fix up and get better at. So we need to focus on ourselves, getting better here this week, and continue to keep playing hard. But it's going to be nice being at home at the Jake.
Yeah. The Cobbers come back home this weekend for 2 games, Hamline on the 22nd and St. Thomas on the 29th. Both games will be at 1 o'clock at the Jake. This has been the Concordia College Football Show with Coach Terry Horan.